Maybe not the most exciting topic, but probably the most important one. Maintenance and descaling. And good news here, this guide covers the entire Philips 2300 and 3300. So I recommend saving this video, you might need it down the road, and while you're at it, subscribe if it's not already done. Let's go, starting with the daily routine. So what do we do every day? Well, first, and the most important, if you have a LatteGo, if you're using milk. So it needs to be rinsed after every use. Milk goes bad within a few hours at room temperature. This is quite easy for the LatteGo. Two parts, the transparent reservoir and the frame with the spout. Unclip, rinse under warm water, 10-15 seconds. Both parts are dishwasher safe, but be aware, with years of high temperature, washing can create micro cracks in the seal. So personally, I would avoid that. For maximum lifespan, hand washing is better. You can also do a deeper clean after a few weeks of use. If you have the classic steam wand, wipe it down after each use and purge it also for a few seconds. The machine also has a built-in quick clean cycle. It purges the spout with steam, so you also need to do that regularly. Now that we have the LatteGo clean, and milk is the most important, there is something else that we tend to forget. The water reservoir and the coffee grind here. Sounds obvious, easy to forget. Look at what happened after a few weeks without rinsing it. Not great, right? So the golden rule here, and that matters, only empty the ground bins when the machine is switched on. Simple and quick. You can rinse it under water with a little dish soap, let it dry, avoid again the dishwasher. Okay, something else to do maybe every other day, the water tank. It's quite easy to forget, but I would advise to change the water every 2 days. Stagnant water forms a slimy biofilm on the walls. It's really not super hygienic. Rinse it regularly, maybe once a week. Use a drop of dish soap, but rinse thoroughly afterwards. Never put in the dishwasher, the heat rips here the seal, so not great. And by the way, I've put together a free guide for properly maintaining your bean to cup machine. Either you have a Philips or something else. It's in the description, you can go check it out, it's free, you can go download it. Now back to the weekly routine. This is where everything happens, the most important, the brew group. It's the module that moves, collects your coffee, compresses it, extract it, eject it. So this is, I think, one of the most complex part of the machine. And it's also the most neglected. So how are we gonna take care of that? There is two things we can do. First, it's the easier. We're gonna wash it, we're gonna rinse it. So how to remove it? Turn off the machine using the button, not by unplugging it. Open the service hatch on the side. Press here the push button and then pull it gently. The group should slide out easily. If it resists, never force it. Switch off the machine again to properly reset it. Now that we have our group, we will rinse it. So no soap, we can rinse it under warm water. Try to rub the metal mesh above the piston with your thumb. This is where the oil builds up. Do a complete rinse. Absolute rule, so don't forget this, no soap and no dishwasher. The brew group is lubricated with a food grade silicone grease, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. After rinsing it properly, air dry it. Don't use any sort of towel or anything that could stick some residue or lint inside. Now, while you let it dry, we can have a look inside the machine. With the brew group removed, you will see a coffee residue, ground coffee deposit inside. That's normal. Two things here, a damp cloth on the floor and walls, and if you have a vacuum cleaner for the hard to reach areas. One thing also to remember, especially if you're using the coffee ground chute here, is to clean it properly. How do we do that? A spoon trick that prevents a lot of breakdown. The pre-ground coffee chute bypasses the grinder, but it's also a classic blockage point. Because it's getting really humid and wet, you might have coffee residue getting stuck on the side. Open the lid, insert the handle of a wooden spoon and move it side to side, up and down until all the coffee falls inside the reservoir. 30 seconds, that could save you a trip to the repair shop. And if this video is helping you, a quick like down below costs nothing, but I assure you it helps us a lot. Keep going. Thanks for your support. Okay, we've covered the daily routine, weekly routine. How about now the monthly routine? There are two important things here, the descaling and the cleaning cycle for the brew group. So it doesn't necessarily have to be done every month. That could be every 2, 3 or 4 months, depending on how much you use your machine. Why cleaning the brew group? Because water alone doesn't really dissolve coffee oils. For that you need a special detergent. We will use a cleaning tablet, so it's not explicitly mentioned in the manual, and we'll use the tablet made by Philips. It's worth to do it if your brew group is really dirty. So, how are we gonna do that? We'll put a tablet into the pre-ground coffee chute, the one that we just cleaned before, place a cup under the coffee spout, select the pre-ground coffee, without of course adding any kind of coffee, and start your brewing cycle. It will dissolve our tablet and clean all the group properly, dissolves again the rancid oil that build up inside our brew group. Don't forget to run at least 2 cycles with plain water to flush everything, and when it's done, don't do any coffee yet, remove the brew group and rinse it again under the tap water, as we mentioned just before. After doing that, it's important to go through a re-lubrication phase. Don't use any kind of lubricant like a WD-40 or anything, it has to be a food-safe grease like that. The frequency depends on how you use the machine. If you 1 to 5 cups a day, you can do it every 4 months. And if you have 6 to 10 cups a day, every 2 months. 2 things to remember here. You want to put a little bit of that lubricant on the 2 O-rings on the piston. In the central shaft here at the back also. If you want to see in details how to apply the lubricant, I have a specific video on the channel. Something quite important, I've seen that often, apply a really thin coat, the size of a grain of rice, sometimes even less per point. Too much attracts dust, creates some sort of sludge, and increases the friction instead of reducing it. So it's quite important not to put too much. We took care of pretty much everything, but now something that maybe the most important, the descaling. This is what's gonna keep our machine alive longer. So when the light, calc here, clean, lights up, it means it's time to descale. You can of course start a cycle on your own. That's what I'm gonna do right now. How do we do that? First, remove the ground bean, the drip tray, empty them, clean them, put them back, remove the water tank. Again, we will empty it. And for this video, I'm gonna use the Seiko or the Philips descaler. For that, it's quite simple. You just have to pour the entire bottle of the descaler inside the water reservoir, fill it up to the side. It's also quite clear on the reservoir. Put it back in the machine and place a container that's big enough, at least 1.5 liters, and the water spout. When it's done, you can press the calc clean icon for 3 seconds. The cycles begin. Now what to do? It takes about 30-35 minutes, so there isn't much to do. Stay around. The pump alternates between flow and pause phases. That's completely normal. If the machine is doing nothing for a few minutes, that's alright. When the machine indicates that the tank is empty, it's the second phase of the descaling. Empty it, rinse it, refill it with just water. Don't forget to empty the container here and the drip tray. Press again the button. The rinse cycle begins and it takes roughly 3 minutes, so it's much faster. When the machine stops, you're done. Don't forget to use an AquaClean filter if you want to use one. You have also to register it with the machine so it can count the numbers of coffee you will make. One key point here also, never use vinegar, and the manual is quite explicit, it could void your warranty. And that's it, 15 minutes a week. That's all that stands between a machine that dies in 18 months and one that hopefully will run for 5-7 years or even more. I have put all the product references that I've been using in the description. And if you want to know how to properly maintain your machine, of course, there is the free guide. It is, again, in the description. But don't leave yet. I'm curious what aspect of maintenance is the most difficult for you. And if you find that video useful, I'm pretty sure you will love the one here. I hope you enjoyed this video and you have a good week. I'll see you soon on Cafe Lista. Ciao.